Ending up in a ditch takes on a connotation of serious bodily harm or worse. Well, read between the lines of worse.
The Lee County Sheriff investigating accusations of a public official making a threat. The sheriff now giving his findings to the state attorney, who will decide whether to charge a Fort Myers councilman who said one of his critics could, quote, end up in a ditch somewhere. 4 in Your Corner's Mike Mason showing you how a casual statement led to a serious investigation. Mike?
Yeah, the councilman told me it was just a figure of speech and not a real threat. And at this point, he hasn't been charged with a crime, but Sheriff Mike Scott says even offhand remarks can have serious consequences.
Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott has concluded his investigation into an alleged death threat made by Fort Myers City Councilman Forrest Banks earlier this month.
There's no question about who said it. I suppose the question legally is, is this a charge for which that can be leveled against Banks for using those words?
Banks has since told us he never planned on actually hurting community activist Anthony Thomas.
Within 30 seconds after I said it, it was gone from my head.
Thomas recently announced his intention to recall Banks from his council seat by organizing a petition drive in Banks District Ward 5. Earlier this month, a city employee sent this email to Human Resources saying she was concerned after hearing Banks threaten Thomas. In a written statement, the employee claims hearing Banks say, quote, Anthony had better be careful because some of Forrest Banks' friends live there, and some of those old boys wouldn't like it, and he, Thomas, will end up in a ditch somewhere.
Ending up in a ditch takes on a connotation of serious bodily harm or worse.
Saying that somebody should end up in a ditch somewhere?
Figure of speech, just talking.
Did you intend to kill Anthony Thomas?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so it was just talk is what you're saying?
Talk.
Thomas took that talk as a serious threat, filed a report with the sheriff's office, and also feels Banks' remarks are laced with racial overtones.
You have a white city council person threatening the life of an African-American community leader, and he's not in jail yet.
Mike Scott says the state attorney is the one who will have to decide whether to file criminal charges.
Potentially what was said could be a crime and could be pursued as such. There's consequences for these things, and so we'll see how this plays out.
Thomas says he is also writing a letter to the governor calling for Banks to be removed from his council seat. We'll, of course, stay on top of this story and let you know how it all turns out. In the studio, Mike Mason, Fox 4 in Your Corner.